Hello everyone. Today we are going to solve problem 392 with subsequence. So let's first read the problem. So the problem saying we are given two string S3. We have to read two if S is a subsequence of T or false otherwise. Okay. Subsequence of string is a new string that is formed from an original string by deleting some, can be none of the character without disturbing the relative position of the remaining character. Okay. ठीक है, this describing what is subsequence. Okay, so let's understand this problem carefully. So let's come here and understand. So let's understand what is subsequence. So the subsequence is type of string that is made by deleting some character. It can be whether one or none or many character. So simply a subsequence is subsequence built by deleting sub character from the original string. If I say S is subsequence of T, so what it means? It means this is part T. I can make S by deleting some character from T. If I delete H, B, H, G, D, so it will become my S. So in that case, I can say my S is subsequence. So we have to just return true if S is subsequence of T. Again, if I take another example, for example, let's take my S is A, B, T, and my T is something like A, B, C, Z, K. In that case, I can't say my S is subsequence of T. Why? Because after deleting any character, like by any character, I can't make S from T. For example, even if I delete C, Z again, still I can't make T. So in this case, there is no way in which I can make S from T. So in that case, I will return false because S is not subsequence of T in for this example. So check this. If you brainstorm little bit, you got the idea. So yes, again we are going to use two pointer approach, and how we will do that? Let's see. Here I will use two pointer, and how can I use it? I put one pointer at this string at the starting of this string. Same, let's say L here. I will place this L, this pointer. Okay, this pointer to this first string S, and I again use another pointer R, and I will put that pointer to this string. I will put both pointer to the starting of both string. Now what's my idea? My idea is I will, if my L and R pointing to same element, in that case I will move both pointer by one place here, both pointing to A. So I will move uh, uh, like this. Now what we will do? Now my L is pointing to B and R is pointing to H. In that case, what I can do? I will delete this H, and how will by ignoring it? Okay, so I ignore it. How can I ignore it? I can skip it. So I simply do nothing, and I will move this point. So I will move this. Now my L and R both pointing to B. So again, when both pointing to same character, I will move both pointer by one place. So again, I will move. Now what's happened? Both my L and R pointing to different character. My L is pointing to C and R pointing to G. Again, in that case, I will ignore G by skipping it. So I simply move without doing anything. So I move my R. Now I will again check, are they pointing to same character? No. So again what I again move my R until it points to the same character. Now both my pointer pointing to C. So what I will move both pointer by one place. In that case, and my S gets end. When my S gets end, what it means? It means I have found all the character in T. It means my S is subsequence of T. What happened if my, let's analyze this problem. Let me make it room. So what's happened in this case? Let's say I will put my L here and R here. Now both pointing to same character. I will I will move this as well. Now both pointing to same, again I will move, and I move this pointer as well. Now both are pointing to different character. Is L pointing to T and R pointing to C. In that case, I simply skip this character because they are not same. So I move my R. Again, this is not same. So again I move. Again, they are not same. So what I can do, again move. And in that way, my T gets end, or in this case my T string gets end, and my L is still at this point index 0 and it never get end. What it's showing? It's showing there is no any character T in string T. That means I can't build S from T by deleting any character. So in that case, what I can do? I will return T. Let's take another example where my L is bigger than T. That never happens. If such case appear like where S length is greater than T, in that case I can simply return false because I can't make C out of T, because T, for example, in such case, if A, B, C, D, and this is my S, and if my T is simply A, B, C, so here there is no way that I can make S out of this, because the length of T is smaller than S. So in that case, I can simply, without checking, I can solely return that they can't be subsequence. S can't be subsequence of T. So yeah, this can be edge case. Okay, so we have understood if any of the string gets and simply check whether I have traversed all the character of S or not. I will at the end, if my S never reach end, it means I didn't found that character in my string T. In that case, I can return false. Okay, so let's we have understood the idea. Let's code it up. So how can I do this? I just simply need two pointer. Let's say pointer L, which I use to traverse over S, and I use another pointer R, which I use to traverse over T. Now what I can do? I will use a while loop and I will keep moving my L until it reaches the S length. So I simply write S, and I will use AND operator because any string get ends. In that case, I will stop, and I can simply check whether my S reach the end or not. If my S reach the end, I know I have found all the character in string T. That means S is subsequence of T. Otherwise, I return false. So let's do this T dot length. So I will keep moving my R until it reach T length. LENGTH. Okay. Now what I can do, I will simply check if both character pointing to same, if both pointer pointing to same character. In that case, I will move both pointer by one place. So how can I do this? I will check if S dot char at L is at L is equal to T dot S T dot character char at R. Okay, if both are pointing to same character, what I can do? I will simply move my L by one place and R by one place. Okay, what if they are not pointing to same? In that case, I simply move my R pointer. So what I can do else? I simply move my pointer. And once any of them reach the end, my while loop stop there, and at the end I will simply check. My concern is only that whether I found all character of S in T string or not. For that I can simply check S. I can check whether my L reach the end or not. How can I check? If my L is pointing to the uh, uh, pointing index S dot length, means last index. So if this happening, in that case, whatever happening, I will return simply. If it is and it will return me true, otherwise it return me false. Let's run it and see it's working or not. Okay, here I'm getting a error. Incompatible type int cannot be converted to string. Why? So, okay, I'm using T here. Let's correct it. I have to write simply like this. Let's run again. Okay, it's working. Let's submit it as well. It gets submitted as well, and I'm getting different time complexity, which is average 2 minutes per second. So let's analyze the time complexity and space complexity for this problem. So the time complexity is linear because I am traversing over both string once, not linear. Linear means whatever the smallest time complexity. In this case, the max time complexity will be t length because I know my s is always smaller than t if my s is subsequence of t. So my in worst case, I have to traverse till t length. So in that case, my time complexity is omega of t dot length. And let's say it's n or t dot length लिख देते हैं. Okay, and what's my space complexity? My space complexity is constant because I'm not using any extra array or anything. I am just using two pointer, two variable which takes constant space. So my constant space complexity is constant in this case. So this is the time and space complexity. If you like this solution, please consider to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.